Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Flagler Weather Update. Today is the 1st of March, 2026. That makes today Sunday. And this is a look at your weather for the week ahead. First off, interesting is that today is actually the first day of meteorological spring. Now, everyone gets real focused on spring starts on, March 20th, 21st. That's when the sun, gets in the right position. But weather-wise, spring weather typically starts on the average right about the beginning part of March. So that's why this is meteorological spring. So we've made it through winter and we're now dealing with spring. So, one thing I want to show you here on our satellite image, and this is live, is this pocket of sea fog that is developed offshore. And it looks like, Flagler County being right about here, it's well away from us. So we don't really have any concerns with that. But sometimes with this warmer weather and onshore winds, you can get sea fog that can be blown ashore. And it's very hard to forecast from time to time. Down south, there's some scattered cloud. Matter of fact, they've had some pretty big thunderstorms around Miami and SoFlo. And that's pushing down into the Keys associated with what's left of that front. So let's talk about wildfires right now. So we did have some good news. That rainfall we had anywhere from almost 2/3 of an inch to an inch, a little better than an inch of rain, depending where you were. So what that has done is that it's helped us out. That has not eliminated a wildfire threat, but it has helped us out quite a bit. And so the drought index has been knocked down to about 378. And just to give an idea what that is, the drought index is how dry the land is, how dry the soil is. And if it's 0, the ground is completely saturated. If it's 800, it is dry as a desert out there. When you get over 500 is when you start having serious problems. We were right around 464, but that rain has knocked us down to right around here. So we're still in the middle of the scale. We still have a wildfire concern. So we are not off the hook, and that burn ban is still in place. So let's take a look at active wildfires right now. In Flagler County, there's only one that's currently in the monitoring phase. This is a 170-acre wildfire that happened a few weeks ago. It's 100% contained. But you notice all the other ones that were monitoring are not there anymore. That's because they are absolutely all the way out, not a concern with them anymore. But as I back out, you can see other wildfires popping up in other counties. So, Volusia is actually not in too bad a shape. St. John's isn't in too bad a shape. When you go west of us, you see a few new ones popping up out there. But overall, we're in pretty good shape with wildfires right now. Doesn't mean that others can't break out, but as of right now, we're in pretty good shape with that. So let's go ahead and take a look what the National Weather Service has got in store for us today. So there is a possibility of some very dense fog late tonight. And then as we go into the week ahead here, an extended period of breezy onshore winds will develop. And this will also increase surf and high rip current risk, likely Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you got folks from out of town and if they want to dip into the surf and they're not used to it, just make sure they know how to get out of rip currents. Areas of dense fog is expected overnight tonight. Now, fog is somewhat challenging to forecast. It does not mean that everywhere will have dense fogs, but some places will. So if you're going to be traveling late night tonight, overnight tonight, just be aware. Even if it's not foggy right here in Flagler County, just up the road, it could be quite thick. So again, this is to be expected later on tonight, and I showed you some of that sea fog on the satellite just a moment ago. So here's the drought index, drought monitor. We are still in extreme drought. Even with that rainfall that we had, it has not really knocked us out of the situation just as of yet. So let's talk about the forecast now, how are things looking. And first, let's talk about those wind gusts because we were talking about that. Now, tomorrow, those winds increase. Not too bad, though, like gusting up to 20 miles an hour. Gusting up to 20 miles an hour by Tuesday. And then through the week, we're seeing gusts no greater than 20 miles an hour. More effect, most of it's like 10 to 15 miles an hour. So it is going to get breezy, but not particularly bad at all. So what about how cold, how warm, and all that? Let's talk about that. So if you're participating in Bike Week, this is good information to have. So today, we're going to get up to right around 70 degrees or so. It'll be cooler at the beaches. Tonight, those temperatures come down into the mid-50s. For most of us, upper 50s beaches. That ocean temperature is about 62 degrees. So it's going to keep things a little warmer right at the beaches. Now, tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures climbing up into the mid-70s across the entire county. Maybe some upper 70s inland. Tomorrow night, we are looking at temperatures bottoming out near 60 degrees. A little bit warmer than that on the beaches and a little bit lower than that inland. And as we go further, Tuesday, temperatures mid-70s, right about 70 at the beaches. Remember that ocean temperature is 62 degrees. So with the onshore breezy wind, it's going to keep things cooler at the beaches. And then looking at Tuesday night's low temperatures, we're looking at lows right near 60. And as we go through the rest of the week, we're kind of seeing that same pattern. Wednesday, though, we're going to be challenging 80 degrees for a high temperature. So, again, cooler at the beaches, maybe near 79 in Bunnell, 76 in Palm Coast, and 71, 72 over here in the beaches. But as we go into Thursday morning, we see lows again in the 60s. So the rest of the week, we don't really see that much difference in temperatures. Highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s. And as we go through the remainder of the week and into the weekend, we're looking at good temperatures. So not bad if you're going to be out riding. If you're going to be out wearing leather, might be just a little warm for that. But it's going to be overall nice as far as temperatures go. But what about the rainfall? Because that's another important thing, especially if you're going to be riding your bikes. If you're going to be riding your motorcycle, how's the rain chances? So tonight we stay dry. Tomorrow, Monday, we stay dry. But then when we get into tomorrow night, we're going to start picking up a very low chance of the odd quick shower in the coastal locations, right along I-95 and points to the east. Any of these will be real quick hitters, not a washout by any stretch at all. And then as we get to Tuesday, we're going to see a better chance of showers, maybe about a 30 to 40% chance of showers blowing in off the ocean. So those could get a little dodgy. And if you're out riding your your motorcycle out there, motorcycle out there, if you're out riding your motorcycle, you might need to kind of keep an eye on what's going on with the weather if you care about riding in the rain, because you might hit some of that. And then as Tuesday night, those rain chances come on down to about 20%. And then by Wednesday, about a 40% chance of showers county-wide. Maybe even the odd thunderstorm will be out there. Again, not a washout, but this activity will be coming and going as we go through the day. Wednesday, and of course, Wednesday's a few days out. We'll have to see if those rain chances increase. Wednesday night, we dry out, and then Thursday, we see another chance of showers, maybe about a 30 to 40% chance. Again, it is not a washout on your bike week at all, but it could be a little bit of an inconvenience there. And then as we go into Friday, we still stay with about a 30% chance of showers throughout the day on Friday, and then into Bike Week's finale, into Saturday, look at about a 30% chance of showers. Again, not a washout. So, Saturday is the end is the wrap up of Bike Week. Also, Spring Fest will be going on near Town Center. So you can come check that out too. Just be aware of these dodgy showers that might be coming and going as we go through the week ahead. So let's go further afield here. Let's go into the future. So this takes us from March 7th into March 11th. Look for temperatures to be widely above normal. That's what the forecast is right now. And precipitation outlook right now looks to be about average is what we should typically expect for March. Now, if we go further into the future, this takes us to March 15th. It takes us halfway into March. Look for temperatures to be above normal and precipitation chances also to be above normal. So this is good news. We don't need severe weather, but we do need the rain, and we will take every bit of it we can get. And March is typically a time of year that we watch to see if there's going to be any kind of severe weather concerns. It is way too early to talk about that just yet, but just keep that in mind as we go into the month of March. And again, look for temperatures to still stay above normal into the middle part of March. But how about the entire month of March? So we're looking at generally above normal temperatures for the entire month, and the entire month below normal precipitation. And wait, I just showed you a chart that said above normal precipitation, but that's only for about a week in March. So if you average all the days together, they're expecting below normal precipitation. Keep in mind, though, this monthly outlook is issued a few days ago, and those shorter range outlooks are updated every day. So, this information can get tweaked around. So that's going to wrap it up. And again, thank you for tuning in. You can rewind and rewatch this after I get done with the live broadcast here. Or you can watch for our YouTube link, which we'll be posting up as soon as we get done. We're also on TikTok. You'll be able to watch our weather there as well. Just look up Flagler Weather Info on TikTok. You can find us there. So anyhow, but again, you can see the sea fog trying to develop, getting going here. Generally from Jacksonville, Northwood, and this may spread out and move inland once the sun goes down. And then if we have a stalled front down to the south here, that front might try to wander back to the north. And then with the onshore flow developing, sometimes that develops a little disturbance off the east coast, and it can generate showers as that activity begins to move in. So, and just taking a quick look at the weather maps here and what's expected. And again, there's that front to the south stalling out, high pressure, another front to the north. And then as we go into the rest, into the first part of the week, the fronts stay off to the north of us, but you can see those shower chances across Florida, and that's from that onshore flow. So, and that stalled off front to the south of us there. So anyway, so looks to be maybe a tiny bit unsettled, but again, not a washout. So that's going to wrap it up. Everybody out there have a great rest of the day. If you're out riding, please be careful. We want to get everyone through Bike Week safely, and everyone have a great day.